It's the part of healthcare that should be the easiest, but for many in Indiana, it's become the toughest.
I have been fighting this fight for 2 years.
So difficult, it's hard to talk about.
This could be anybody's loved ones, and it's not right. It's just not right.
This isn't a story about the rigors of chemotherapy, radiation, or surgery.
And I know there's a lot of people now that have died over not being picked up.
This is a story about the overlooked act of just getting to the doctor. For people who are poor, have disabilities, or are medically fragile in Indiana, getting to the doctor is often impossible.
I have spina bifida, hydrocephalus, asthma, COPD, diabetes. I've been left high and dry numerous times. I can't even tell you how many times or the dates where I have been left, where they either showed up 2 hours late or not showed up at all, probably 30, 40, 50. I mean, I can't, over the course of the last 3 years, I can't count.
She's talking about the Georgia-based company Southeastrans that got a 4-year, $128 million contract with Indiana's Family and Social Services Administration to take over the system of rides to medical appointments for Hoosiers on Medicaid. Southeastrans given an F rating by Indiana's Better Business Bureau. For others, the grade is more like incomplete because they keep getting canceled or stood up.
So you think you have a ride scheduled with a transportation company, and then a lot of times they will not show up. They cancel last minute. They are late. They may take you to your appointment, and then you don't have a ride home.
In Erin Stennett's tenure as a social worker, she could write a book about what happened to her clients.
She received a call from Southeastrans saying, "We're sorry, we couldn't find you a ride." And she called me Monday morning in tears. "Erin, I don't know what to do."
Erin's book is nonfiction filled with horror stories about what happens to people right after they have to cancel important appointments.
She was put in ICU. She was in kidney failure. She spent at least a week in the hospital, and she never went home again. Within 3 weeks total, she was gone. She died. I was heartbroken.
To get a better idea how often riders are stranded, I analyzed the state medical transportation reports. The most recent one, November, shows 2,900 trips not provided because no provider was assigned, and 116 cases of providers no-showing. October, 3,446 trips not provided because no provider was assigned, and 150 provider no-shows. Teresa Pate, whose husband is nonverbal after a stroke, says the complaint investigations mean nothing because she says Southeastrans lies in their reports. She cites one instance where Southeastrans no-showed her husband, then claimed the driver was the one stood up.
No, I said, you weren't at my house because the home health care aide was standing there watching.
When she filed a complaint with the state about it, she says they followed up one lie with another one.
When I sent the complaint to the state, they tried to say they transported him to that appointment the next week, that they had came and got him and they took him to that appointment.
So what does Southeastrans have to say about all this? Its Indiana director never responded to my phone messages or emails. I requested an interview with Indiana's FSSA in March, even submitted my questions at their request. Weeks later, I received a statement from their spokesperson writing, there are supply challenges when it comes to the network of transportation providers available to serve the increased member demand. They also said while Medicaid ridership has increased to over 65,000 per month, the driver's network is now 1,650. The numbers of no-shows and cancellations are apparent. What's harder to determine are the numbers of people who've gotten worse or died as a direct result of missing a scheduled appointment. Has your health ever suffered immediately after one of these times where you needed to get to the doctor but they left you?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
My shunt failed a couple of years ago, and I needed to see a neurosurgeon, and they were supposed to be transporting me to Norton's emergency room. and they didn't show up.
A friend of mine said her friend was supposed to have had 2 rides with them that they canceled on her, and just a few weeks later, she passed away from an undetected heart condition. And she told me last night, she said, I swore that if she had been able to have got to the doctor, they would have caught this.